Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to the No DQ live recap of Friday Night SmackDown for November 25th, 2019. 1 week before my birthday. And by the way, I will be on next week, not taking Friday off, the 22nd. So make sure you guys tune in next Friday. Back in the fold this week after taking off last week due to the taped episode of SmackDown, but it's back to business here. Let's go ahead and get started with the recap. We kicked off SmackDown with a recap from last week between Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin, everything that went down between them, and of course Baron Corbin picking up the victory over the big dog with the help of Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, aka Rudolph. We had the usual intro and pyro for SmackDown, so WWE has not done away with that just yet. We still have our intro and pyro, so all is good right now. King Baron Corbin came out and he was being carried to the ring on his throne, much like the Macho King Randy Savage and Jerry Lawler would do back in the day when they were king, and King Mabel even did it. Corbin had Roode and Ziggler out there with him. Corbin talked about how the people should pay respects to the king. Corbin said that Reigns is a shell of the man he once was. And then Corbin declared himself to be the team captain for SmackDown at Survivor Series. A graphic was shown with the participants, and then Corbin said that there are two weak links. Mustafa Ali, who by the way is once again Mustafa Ali, he got his first name back. Corbin said Ali and Shorty G are the weak links. Ziggler talked about how Ali and G only got on Team SmackDown because they are friends with the big dog. And then Bobby Roode says that they got handed participation trophies. Ziggler vowed that they would be victorious and they would take the final spots on Team Corbin. Then Baron Corbin proceeded to invite Roman Reigns to the ring. And instead of Roman Reigns coming out, we had a guy dressed in a dog costume with music of a dog barking over the Roman Reigns song. Ow, 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 ow. That sort of thing. Gary with a $2 super chat says, is Petco the proud sponsor of Roman's theme song? They might as well be at this point. Like next week when they do the recap, WWE should totally have Petco or PetSmart sponsor the recap from this week's SmackDown. Dr. Scorpio says this segment is when I stopped watching SmackDown. You actually missed a pretty good SmackDown, I'll just say that. This was so dumb that I actually thought it was funny. Like, it was so goofy and over the top that I enjoyed it more than last week. Like, they just went a step further with it this week, and it was pretty goofy, but I'll admit I did laugh at it. And we had the guy in the costume getting in the ring, sitting down on command. Then we had the tag team match after the commercial, Ali and G versus Rudolph. And by the way, WWE did show a video package from the WWE Backstage episode on Tuesday night, and there was a lot of hype for CM Punk. Michael Cole talking about how CM Punk is back in WWE, all this stuff, even though we know Punk is under contract to Fox, but WWE's acting like CM Punk is back and his new role is an analyst on WWE Backstage. My man Psycho Jet Black with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. He says, what did you think of the new Blue Universal title? We know we're not going to get the World Heavyweight title back, but at least it's not red. The title's blue. The title's blue. The title's goddamn blue. Yeah, I'm fine with it, but I get what some people are saying, like how it wasn't exactly a very creative change. Yeah, the title's on SmackDown, so you just change it to blue. They could have done something different with it, maybe given it a makeover and give it a different look, but no, they went from red to royal blue, as Jim Carrey might say. So, anyways, we had this tag team match, and Corbin was on the outside with the mascot. They were mocking the big dog when the real big dog, Roman Reigns, came out, and Michael Cole pretty much had an orgasm when the real Roman Reigns came out. We had a commercial break. We came back. Bobby Roode prevented Dolph Ziggler from tapping out to G's ankle lock, and that's when Corbin was going to give Roode his scepter to use as a weapon, but then Roman Reigns attacked Corbin with the drive-by and with the spear, and then G hit the German suplex and Ali hit the 450. So Ali G, they are the winners of this match. Booyakasha. And let's see here. DJ, my man DJ Whitey or DJ Whitty. I think it's DJ Whitey, but I always forget. He left a $5 super chat, which I very much appreciate. He says, it doesn't get any more predictable than a blue Universal title. There was absolutely no point in a build for the unveiling of a new title. I can't even talk. A brand new title being introduced. I'm like Porky Pig here. Yeah, I like I said, they could have done something more creative with it. It's kind of predictable that they would just go from red to blue, but it is what it is, and I do think it looks better than the red, and I know a lot of people feel that way too, but I totally understand the criticism about it as well. So anyways, we had a recap of the Bray Wyatt attack on Daniel Bryan, and then we had the Firefly Funhouse segment where the title was introduced. Bray Wyatt was dressed up as a magician, and then he waved his magic wand, and then the title went from red to blue. And then he said that he'll be watching Daniel Bryan on Miz TV, which was the main event segment. The game is on 100 with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. He says they should have used the Fiend's custom title instead. Yeah, they just had the Bray Wyatt side plates, the Fiend side plates, and that was it. The blue championship with the Wyatt side plates. But yeah, they could have done something really interesting, like when Steve Austin had the Smoking Skull title, they could have had Bray Wyatt make a custom Fiend championship that was totally different from the Universal title / WWE title design. Michael Wayne says, what if Big G was in the group? They could call it Ali Double G. There you go. Six-man competition. They could win the six-man championship. There you go. So backstage, we had Baron Corbin telling Rudolph that he would fix everything and not to be too upset about what happened. Then we had a recap of last week when Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury became besties. We had Braun Strowman come out to confront the B Team and Drew Gulak. Gulak said that the B Team were with him to learn, and then Gulak showed a graphic on the big screen stating that he would save Team SmackDown if he were to replace Strowman. Gulak said that Braun still has many lessons left to learn, and that's when a fight broke out and Braun Strowman beat up all three guys. Wasn't a match or anything, just Strowman getting the best of the three guys. And people in the chat room, tic-tat-tat, Ryan Frank are like, poor Gulak. I mean, are you guys really surprised? I mean, that's basically the purpose he's serving in WWE on the main roster, basically to put over other people. That's what he's doing. We had the New Day interviewed. Kofi Kingston was there with the pancakes as usual. They vowed to retain the tag team titles. And then backstage, we had Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura talking to Daniel Bryan. They wanted an answer. Zayn wanted to know, are you with us? And Bryan asked Zayn why last week Zayn ran away when Bryan was attacked by The Fiend. Zayn's response was that Bryan was potentially running with him. That's what Zayn thought, that Bryan was right behind him running away from Bray. And also, on top of that, Zayn was looking for Nakamura as backup. Bryan then said he is not joining the group, and then Bryan said that he does agree with them, though, that they need somebody else in their team, and said that that person is Braun Strowman. He's your guy, said Bryan. Strowman walked up, and Zayn was like yelling out, "Good idea, Dan!" And then they proceeded to make a quick exit. We had the tag team match, New Day defending the tag team titles against the Revival. Kofi got sent into the ring post, and then Big E got a pretty brutal slam onto the announce table. Shatter Machine to Big E, but then Kofi made the save. All four guys were down, and that's when the Undisputed Era showed up once again to raise hell, beat down on the two tag teams, and then all the other teams came out to make the save, and the Undisputed Era took off. Next, that led to Heavy Machinery winning a quick squash match with the Compactor. Then we had Bayley interviewed. She said she doesn't care about the people. Nothing will make her happier than crushing Nikki Cross's dreams. Sasha Banks said that Nikki doesn't even deserve to be on the women's team at Survivor Series because she beat Nikki. Bayley beat Nikki several times. And then Bayley said that maybe she'll be the captain of Team SmackDown when it's all said and done. My man Harold Warren with a very generous $15 super chat. Very much appreciated, Harold. He says, truthfully, on a scale of 0 to 10, I'll give it a 5. I'm not sure if Harold's talking about the overall SmackDown show or a particular segment. Harold says, too bad the Super Chat Championship is dead. I agree on that. But Harold, I really do appreciate the shout out and the Super Chat. Very much appreciated. And DJ, my man DJ Whitey with another $5 Super Chat says, hey, my man Aaron, how much Super Chat donations will it take in total from the No DQ Galaxy to dress up in a turkey costume for Thanksgiving? Well, how much does a turkey costume even cost? I'm not even sure I could get one on such short notice, so I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not AJ Styles. I'm not going to be losing a feast or fired match and wearing a turkey suit, unless I could find a cheap one somewhere. And I know they do have like costume shops that are open year round, but yeah, I don't know about that one. It might be too late to propose that idea. Maybe if you told me a couple weeks ago, I could have looked for one. But thank you for that, DJ. And of course, thank you, Harold. So we had the Bayley versus Nikki Cross match. Shayna Baszler came out right away, pretty much like a minute into the match. And then Bayley was like, to hell with this. She started to take off. And that's when she went into the crowd and she was confronted by the other NXT female superstars. I believe pretty much the women's War Games match. They came out. Rhea Ripley was leading the charge. But then Sasha Banks got in the ring and attacked Shayna Baszler from behind. And then all hell broke loose. All the SmackDown women came out. And there was this big brawl between the SmackDown women and the NXT women. Sasha got on the mic and proceeded to challenge the War Games women to a match right on the spot. Impromptu match. After the break, we had the 8 women match. It was Sasha, Dana Brooke, Carmella, and Nikki Cross versus Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim, literally 2 days after her ladder match at NXT. Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox making up the 4 participants. They started to have a normal match, and then things got out of hand again. They went to a commercial. When they came back from the commercial, Nikki Cross pinned Dakota Kai. So yes, SmackDown gets a victory over NXT, and then the rest of the SmackDown women came out, and the SmackDown women were standing tall to end this segment. So there you go. This week, SmackDown gets the best of NXT. Will it continue, though? Only time will tell. And Harold Warren with another generous $10 super chat says, who booked the opening segment? That person should quit right on the spot. Well, clearly it's one of those segments that is supposed to be funny, and whether you thought it was funny or you thought it was dumb, they like to do their comedy, and I'm sure Vince McMahon thought the segment was hilarious. Again, I had no problem with it this week just because it was so dumb that I actually found it to be very entertaining. But thank you so much, Harold, for the super chats. I really do appreciate it, like I said. And by the way, speaking of the super chats, so YouTube is implementing memberships, which is kind of like a Patreon type thing, but I definitely want to do some more content. So I'm looking into the idea in 2020 of doing the memberships where you pay a certain amount a month and you get special perks, you get shout outs. And I'm thinking of doing extra videos that are exclusive to the higher tiered members. So that's an idea I'm definitely playing with for 2020. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you would be interested in some exclusive content as a special member, having that perk. Let me know. Ken Terminated by Google with a $5 super chat says, DJ Whitey's idea is good, but I propose Rift to dress up as the gobbledygooker. Aaron Rift equals the modern day Hector Guerrero. Okay, so does such costume even exist? I'm not even sure if there is a gobbledygooker costume on the market. If there is, somebody ship me one and I'll wear it. How about that? If such a costume exists, if somebody wants to send me one, email me and I'll wear it. I promise you. If somebody sends me a costume, I'll wear it. Gobbledygooker costume, that is. Chris May says his dad has one. I didn't even know one existed. I mean, you would think that WWE would make one because you would think that people would find that entertaining. Darius Jefferson says memberships would be cool. Michael Wayne says not sure about that. And Ryan Frank says, no, you're turning into what culture? Don't the what culture guys like sit around for like 5 hours and repeat the same phrase over and over again? Darius says, how about for the memberships you bring back the non-live stream, no DQ&A videos, but only for members? I like that idea a lot. I am definitely considering something like that, doing like a Q&A that's not live, strictly for the members. So yeah, I will be getting more input from people in the coming weeks, but that's something I'm looking at doing first quarter 2020. All right, so we had the main event segment, which was Miz TV, and I thought this segment was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and if you missed it, if there's anything you watch from this week's SmackDown, you got to watch this final segment. Mo Camera with a $7 super chat. Thank you for that, Mo Camera. He says, CM Punk is back because the big dumbass can't do his job as a draw. Ouch. That might be the savage line of the night. I mean, I saw one person on Twitter say that CM Punk is only back in WWE because he already went through his MMA money. I know his lawsuit with the doctor was pretty expensive, but still, CM Punk, between his WWE money and the UFC money, I mean, I would find it hard to believe that the guy would be in need of money. Like, he's not the type of person that's going around driving fancy cars and wearing fancy clothes and living in a big mansion. To my knowledge, CM Punk is a pretty frugal guy and lives a fairly low-key lifestyle. Doesn't sound like a guy who would blow through millions of dollars in a couple of years. So I don't know if that's why he's back, But then again, maybe he's like, well, got to make more money. If there's more money to be made, got to take advantage of it. Aftermatch Wrestling with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says 5-on-5 prediction challenge between Team No DQ and NXT Team. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. We can definitely look at that as a possible option for future videos. I like it. Thank you for that. And Walter Cruz with a $2 super chat says, can CM Punk be a surprise entrant at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view? Of course he could. I don't know if he will. He could show up Survivor Series. He could show up Royal Rumble. Honestly, if CM Punk's going to come back, Survivor Series would be a great start because it's in Chicago and he's going to get the biggest pop there. But he would get a big pop at the Rumble as well. He could come back at WrestleMania. Maybe he never wrestles again. Who knows? I think the only guy that does know is CM Punk. And he may be ready. He might not be ready. He might just be collecting the paycheck for now and see how things play out. Who knows? And yes, CM Punk also had the lawsuit with Colt Cabana. So he's definitely had some legal fees. But I don't know if that was enough for him to be desperate enough to come back strictly for the money. Ken Terminated by Google with a $5 super chat says, my man Darius brought up a good point. What happened to the Q&A videos featuring Mr. Yuck? Did you talk about it in the past? Yeah, I have. So basically, I stopped doing the pre-recorded Q&As because I was focusing more on doing the live videos and doing the live Q&As. And I haven't really done much. I was also doing the call-in videos where people could call in with questions, which I'm still going to do. But yeah, I'm thinking about bringing back some of the pre-recorded Q&As and doing it as part of a membership package. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And then Mo Camera with a $2.79 super chat, thank you for that, says, why wasn't The Fiend part of the no DQ breakout? Because Bray Wyatt's already been around. I mean, he could have been eligible. I think he would have been better eligible for the comeback of the year rather than breakout. Breakout's more like a newcomer who's coming in and having like a first big year. And Bray Wyatt's already had plenty of big years in WWE. So it would be more like a comeback than like a breakout year. But I'm not even sure he made that poll off the top of my head. Landonime with the $10 super chat says, hey Aaron, thanks for your videos. My thoughts on the YouTube subscription seem stupid. What content could you want us to pay extra for? Have that toolbox virtue on a podcast? No thanks, buddy. Ouch. Well, I thank you for that super chat, and I would not torture you with virtue, just kidding virtue, but it would be me. Like if I was going to do extra content, it would be strictly me. Maybe I would do some kind of special video with the other guys as a bonus. It's just that right now I'm like very much short on time as far as trying to do more content, but I was considering the idea of the membership since YouTube is now making it available to the publishers. I was thinking of trying it out and maybe trying to expand on content. But at the same time, I don't want to burn myself out. So that's also a consideration. Colin Andrews says, again, count me in for that 5-on-5, Stefan, in NXT Predictions League. I'm in second. Well, I'm not doing so well with the No DQ Predictions League, so I'm not sure if I would be much of a value to the No DQ team. Mo Camera with a $2.79 super chat says, and the big dumbass as in Roman Reigns. Well, that's kind of harsh. Why are you hating on Roman Reigns? Or you're saying the guy who is dressed as Roman Reigns. Hopefully not Roman Reigns himself, because that would be mean if you were talking about Roman like that. And Mo Camera says, oops, sorry, why wasn't Bray nominated for comeback? Well, it's based on the people that send in the nominations, and I add them up when it's time to do the polls and do the videos for the predictions, or not, do the predictions and give our thoughts on who we think should win and who we think is going to win, all that stuff. But when it's time to do that, I add up all the people that sent in the nominations, and then the top 6 make the final polls. So for whatever reason, Bray did not get enough nominations. Stinky B with a $2 super chat says, NWA is better than all petite wrestling. Ouch. That is a brutal comment. I still haven't talked about the end of SmackDown here, so we got to get to this. I would disagree with that, but I am enjoying NWA Power. I do like the interview segments very much. And Alden Knight, do you think CM Punk is going to wrestle again in WWE? I think someday. I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon, but I would say there's a decent chance. And the Holiday Christopher Mace with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. He says, I want in Stefan for the 5-on-5 NXT team versus No DQ. Well, there you go. you can be in it. Walter Cruz with a $5 super chat says, for YouTube subscription, you can have people challenge Greg for the title live. Just have sets of questions ready, and maybe the viewers can ask live in chat. That might be a little complicated. Another thing I'm definitely working on is doing the No DQ review live with Virtue and everybody. As far as doing Wrestling Trivia Challenge live, that I feel like logistically that could be very challenging, and there's not much room for error with that. But I will keep that in mind. Maybe we could do some kind of test run with it before we would go full force. But I am looking into doing No DQ review live, and just in general, I prefer doing the live videos over the pre-recorded videos. And Landon Mine with a $5 super chat says, been with you since 2007. Not going to lie, my man. The reviews are about the only fun things to watch. The guys you have on are trash. Well, I'm sorry you don't enjoy the panel with the guys on, but I know a lot of people do and like having some different opinions, and that's what it's all about, trying to get a variety of people's thoughts, not just mine, get some different opinions on there. But if there's specific people that you like better than others, let me know for future videos. And if there's people that haven't been on in a while that you would like to see on again, let me know. If you want to see more Jeff Meacham, let me know. If you want to see Caitlyn on more, let me know. And Mo Camera with a $7 super chat says, how do you feel about Sean's View getting arrested for exposing his meat at Walmart? I have no idea what that's about, so I have no comment. However, I thank you for that super chat. All right, so finally, let's get to the end of SmackDown. I really do appreciate all the super chats, though. You guys have been great tonight. And Landon Mine with another $2 says, Big G just repeats what you guys say. It's so sad. Well, then you got to let Big G know he's got to step it up. All right, so Miz TV. The Miz got Daniel Bryan in the ring, asked him, why did The Fiend choose Bryan to attack? Miz wanted to know why Bryan thought The Fiend attacked him. Miz said that he thinks the reason is that Bryan is mentally unstable, and Bray sees Bryan as somebody that is conflicted on who he is. Is he the ultimate underdog, or is he the new Daniel Bryan? And then The Miz added that maybe The Fiend sees Daniel Bryan as washed up. And then Miz said that maybe Bray wants to be the one to finally end Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was quiet for all this, and then finally Bryan responded to The Miz and said he was quiet because Miz TV sucks and has always sucked. Bryan said, yeah, maybe he's washed up. But one thing he still has is the passion. And then Miz started to respond to that, and Bryan all of a sudden started screaming, shut your mouth. And then Bryan talked about how the people, Miz, they don't understand passion plus mental instability. Bryan said that Bray does understand it because he's mentally unstable as well. And then that's when we were interrupted by the Firefly Funhouse once again. Bray Wyatt said maybe The Fiend did it to scare Bryan. Or maybe Bray still remembers what Bryan did. And I'm guessing that this is a reference to 2014 when Bryan turned against the Wyatt family. It was a little subtle reference to this, but I'm guessing that's what it was. I mean, that's the only thing that really makes sense. What the hell is Michigan versus Michigan State? I don't even know what that is, Caitlin. So anyways, Bray proceeded to open up a box of toys, and then the final toy in the box was the Universal Championship, the blue Universal Championship. He said that it's his new favorite toy, and then he asked Bryan if Bryan wants to play. Just say the magical one word. Bryan's response, no. And then the dolls started saying yes. Bryan again said no. He is not going to play with the puppets. But Bryan did say, if you want to fight, let's fight. Bryan then said he wants the Universal Championship on the line, to which Bray responded by saying, yes, 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 yes. And he started screaming yes over and over again. And it got to the point where it was very creepy. And then Miz said, it's official. Survivor Series, Daniel Bryan challenging Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship. Bryan had his music play, and that was the end of SmackDown. I thought the final segment was great. The only thing I really wasn't feeling was when the puppets were going back and forth with Bryan, because you had the graphics on the screen, and the whole thing just felt a little overly staged to me. But Bryan and Miz, when they were going back and forth, I thought they were fantastic. And Bray doing the yes at the end, being all creepy, I loved that. So the end of this show I thought was A+, or maybe an A. If you take away the stuff with the puppets, I would have given it an A+. But great end to SmackDown. Much of the rest of the show I thought was good, but not great. The invasion stuff has been fine, but it was more of the same kind of stuff we saw the past couple of weeks. And the beginning of the show, it was what it was. I know it was very polarizing. I was okay with it. So this week, I give SmackDown a solid B. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was good build for Survivor Series overall. And now let's go ahead and see what you guys thought about SmackDown. What were your letter grades for the show? Tic Tat Tat with a C+, Kev Dog with a B+, Grizzly Kid 4 with a B+, Michael Wayne with a B+, Mike B with a B+, Curtis Butler with a B, Aftermatch Wrestling with a B-, Brady Time with a C-. So a lot of B's. A lot of B's. Colin Andrew gives it a solid B, and Chris Mace also gives it a B. Gary gives it a C- for crazy booking. So what would you guys say was the spot of the night? And also, what do you think was the line of the night? I think Bryan saying the whole passion versus mental instability was the line of the night. Spot of the night might have been, because it kind of looked brutal, when Big E was slammed on the table. Christopher Mace says the Chaos Theory into the 450 splash. That was good too. But that I cringed when Big E went into that table. I mean, that looked pretty nasty. I was like, damn. That could have hurt badly. Colin Andrews says Undisputed Era attacking in the tag title match. All right, so that was SmackDown. And as far as cringiest moment of the night, probably the puppets saying no. I know some people will say the big dog barking, but I'll say the puppets, or the puppets saying yes, excuse me. Bryan was the one saying no. The puppets saying yes with the graphics and everything I thought was a little cringy. All right, so that was SmackDown. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back next week, Monday night, Wednesday night. My birthday's next Friday. I will be going live next Friday. We got predictions coming up this week. We got a huge weekend next weekend with NXT TakeOver War Games. We got the pay-per-view Survivor Series. We got Raw. Lots of live streams coming up. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the notification bell to get updates. And DJ Whitey with a $2 super chat says, are you going to do a video after Backstage this Tuesday? Don't think so, because the show airs at 11 o'clock at night, and I really don't want to be recording videos at midnight unless I absolutely have to. But I'm sure Wednesday night, if there's something noteworthy to talk about, I will. Or maybe I'll do what I did this week and talk about the big news like Wednesday afternoon or something like that. This past Wednesday I talked about the CM Punk stuff. So, I do tend to do live streams when there's like some kind of major breaking news just to get it out there. So yeah, I'll probably do that if there's anything big that happens. Otherwise, I'll just talk about something backstage related on the AEW Dynamite video. So again, thank you guys. And Mo Camera with another $2.79 super chat says, what's your favorite hentai? I don't even know what that is. So got no answer for that. Must be something offensive because Dr. Scorpio is saying, LOL, stop Mo. All right, guys, I'm out for the night. On that note, thank you guys again, and I will see you all next time.